Welcome, Mr. Brinkley. You are the Vice President for Homeland and International Security Services of Wackenhut Services, Incorporated. As I indicated to Mr. Moser, it is the custom of this subcommittee to swear in all witnesses, and would ask if you would stand. Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give before this subcommittee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Let me start with what's obvious here. Did you send a notice to the State Department that you did not wish to participate in the third year of the contract?
We have not.
And why haven't you not done that?
Well, I look at this in two ways. We are a guard company that prides itself in doing missions well. We have worked very hard over the last year to make this contract compliant. We're very proud of that. We can do this job. So from that perspective, operationally, we're proud to do that and proud to make it right. On the other hand, there's the financial business side. I'd prefer to do it and not lose money. So that's where we are at this point in time.
Well, I'm confused. If you're losing $1 million, did you say $1 million a month you're losing?
That's correct.
If you're losing $1 million a month, why wouldn't you tell them you don't want the contract again and they'd have to rebid it?
Well, it's my understanding that it is the government's decision to execute the option. And I just heard the Assistant Secretary Moser's testimony that we have the option, and we will take that under advisement.
Okay. You've testified that in January of this year, the contract was fully staffed and even overstaffed according to the requirements of the contract. But yet, a few months ago, when it was the State Department did a verification of that, there was, in fact, it was determined there were 18 posts vacant. If you were fully staffed, was that just negligence?
It was an issue associated, Senator, with break time with the Guard force. The deficiency was based upon the supervisors that were immediately over that that did not ensure that break occurred properly.
Could you shed any light on the situation with the counterfeit purchases and the procurement officer buying almost $400,000 worth of goods from his wife?
Madam Chairman, that happened before our acquisition of the company. I have the same knowledge of the documents that the committee has, and I don't have any.
Is that individual working for you?
I'm sorry?
Is that individual working for you?
No.
And do you buy anything from his wife's company?
No.
Okay. Let's talk about the language issue. You are now representing that you have all of your folks in compliance with the language requirement of the contract.
That is correct.
You are receiving around $37 million a year on this contract?
I would have to look at the exact numbers. That if it's whatever 190 million is divided by 5, I guess, whatever 1/5 of that might be.
And the third country nationals are making about $5.35 an hour?
They have a set rate of about $800 a month, yes.
And the local nationals, which you have some working on this contract, make $2 an hour?
That's correct.
You are a former Marine, and thank you for your service. I'm looking at a security contract where we're paying some people as little as $2 an hour to guard the embassy. The majority of the people guarding the embassy are making a little over $5 an hour. And the company that's providing this is telling the United States Congress that they're losing $1 million a month on the deal. And I don't want to impugn in any way your company's integrity. I'm sure you have every intention of complying with this contract over the year, but losing $1 million a month is pressure. I'm asking you now, should we be hiring private contract firms such as yourself to guard embassies in this situation? Or should we as a nation begin to contemplate the notion that when we are in theater, the embassy in theater should in fact be guarded by our own military?
The requirements that people think are necessary to get the work can drive people to do things that are unreasonable in the price, and they'll lose money on it. People make bad business decisions. In this case, we know that it takes more than this proposal was initially bid for, not necessarily because of the price for the salaries, but how it was structured, the manning factors, the number of people that it takes to actually meet the contract requirements. This is a prevalent wage. It's competitive. That wage itself is higher than we pay for the guards, the Gurkha guards that are on the U.S. Embassy in Bahrain. It is higher than the Gurkha guards that are standing duty on the naval support activity in Bahrain, and it is competitive with the salaries according to the Gurkhas that are protecting the British Embassy in Kabul.
The contracts you just referred to, does your company have all those contracts?
I have I have oversight of the security for the naval support activity in Bahrain. That I do have.
And for the British Embassy?
The British Embassy does not fall under my responsibility, but it does fall under a part of Group 4 Securicor.
So it's your company?
The parent company on the latter.
Okay. So are those contracts profitable?
I am not clear. I don't know the answer to that. The naval support activity in Bahrain, the answer is yes. I have that contract, so I know if that contract's profitable. Well,
I would be interested in, and you can take this question for the record, I would be interested in your answer as to why the contract that you have with in Bahrain, why it is profitable and why this one isn't, and what is the differences between the two contracts that make one profitable and one not. And I am going to continue to be troubled by the notion that you can be fully compliant on a contract that you're losing significant money on. And I think we've got to figure out a way to resolve that, because there are 2 more years of options on this contract. So are you signing up to lose $12 million a year for the next 3 years? And if so, I just think that defies common sense. And generally, when we're defying common sense, something happens that shouldn't happen.